Now, Guillem, I know you're in Moscow covering the World Cup, but you've seen this video, or part of it, I think, that went out this evening. Just tell us what you saw tonight.
I had prepared all this for a long time. Some of the conversations that he has in that documentary took place in April. And he spends half an hour going like, should I go? Should I stay? Should I go? Should I stay? It wasn't much more, there wasn't much more action, to be honest. But it is something that everybody was waiting for. That includes Atletico Madrid and Barcelona. So it is fascinating from the point of view of why is it being done this way? And quite clearly, the player now has got, or the players in general have got now the ability to control the message. What's even more fascinating is that the production company that did it, one of the main shareholders is Piqué, who only a few hours before the documentary started, put a tweet out there saying, I've got the popcorn, let's see what the movie is like. Titi himself, centre-back of Barcelona, was saying, oh, I haven't got the popcorn, on Twitter, replying to Piqué. So it was all a bit of a fun, but not so much for the fans of Barcelona, of course, who expected a different decision, and for Barcelona's board, who expected Griezmann to arrive to Barcelona. Now, without him, yes, there'll be money available, but not the kind of player, they won't be able to get the kind of player of the calibre of Griezmann.
Guillem, I wonder if you've heard, we've read a couple of reports online tonight that there was actually two different versions of the ending of this video recorded. One when he says, I'm staying, and one when he says, I'm going. Have you heard that by any chance?
Not just that, he actually got in touch with the television company that put this out an hour before the show to say which one he had to use, they had to put out there. So yes, that's exactly what he did. And it's all a little bit, as you can imagine, there's been a lot of criticisms, even from Atletico Madrid fans, that they feel that they've been taken for a ride. If he wanted to stay, why didn't he? And of course, the fact that he was doubting so much about what to do with his future had to do certainly with the fact that, with Barcelona, it would be easier to get a Champions League win. With Atletico Madrid, it's more about the heart, but also it had to do with 20 million euros net that Atletico Madrid have offered him, and also the promise of them spending about 100 million euros to reinforce the side and fight for the league and the Champions League. Hence, the Lerma contract situation in which Monaco and Atletico Madrid seem to have agreed a fee for Lerma to move to Atletico Madrid is part of this big project that Atletico Madrid has started to do to convince Griezmann.
And just finally on this video that he announced this decision on, I mean, was this hammed up and hyped up, for the effect, or do you think he really was in absolute turmoil and it was almost like the flip of a coin?
It was a bit of both, to be honest. He is that kind of personality. Remember last summer, he had almost back close with Manchester United. Manchester United thought they got the player. Eventually, he changed his mind and stayed at Atletico Madrid. Well, this is the same thing. As I say, Barcelona have conversations with him, with his sister who represents him, and they were convinced that they had convinced him. Not just that. Valverde, Messi, Luis Suarez, I think they were told that Griezmann was coming. So now they've got a situation that it won't be easy to deal with, because what Luis Suarez and Valverde and Messi want are players that have got that kind of from day one.
We just lost you a little bit there at the end, Guillem. I'll just ask one more question. I mean, for Atletico Madrid, who, maybe would almost resign themselves to the fact he might be going, for him now to be staying, he's been such a star man in recent years. Just how big a lift will this be for them?
They wouldn't resign. They actually have put on the table an offer of 20 million euros and the promise of a strong Atletico Madrid. They fought until the end to convince him. So they are obviously very happy that that's the case. And now you have to ask Atletico Madrid for titles. They cannot go and say, oh, but we're happy to be third. And as Griezmann himself says in the documentary, this thing about being second and third, not good enough. Well, Atletico Madrid have convinced them that they are a power now to match Barcelona and Real Madrid. So we'll have to see if that's the case, because that's why Griezmann has stayed.